So here we go. Feet start together, feet apart. Soften your hips and knees. Let your shoulders relax. If you know the routine, the scan or the guided breathing, do the whole set. Don't wait for me. So arms up, chin up. Take a deep breath. Arms down, chin down. Big exhale. Arms up, chin up, arch your lower spine. Arm down, chin's down. Round your whole spine. Shift a little here and there, release some of the tension in the muscles. Inhale. Let your eyes become heavy. Eyelids heavy. Focus somewhat soft. Inhale. Big expansion of your arms and your shoulders and your chest. And then contract as you push down and breathe out. Inhale, breathe through your nose as much as you can. In through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale, squish the tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Exhale, tongue to the bottom of the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm trying to feel this stretch. You know, it's not a whole intense stretch, but yeah, I'm feeling my shoulders, my chest, my upper back. And then I do the squish, my stomach muscles pulling back, the abdomen. Inhale. So I let my diaphragm extend downward. And then I squish the diaphragm by pulling the muscles in my stomach back. Inhale. Shift your hips forward. Exhale. Shift your hips back. When your hips go forward, that puts the weight on the ball of your foot. When you shift your hips back, it puts the weight on the heel. So that's kind of the whole wave of movement. From your hands to your shoulders, shoulders down the spine to your hips, down the legs to the ankles and toes. Inhale. Feel the wave of movement. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can always take it a little bit further with your foot. Try to feel the big toe, the little toe, the ball of your foot. And then feel the heel. Let's try a couple more and then we'll move on. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Everything relaxed. Minimal amount of tension holding our body in place. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And finish it up with the splash on the bottom, a flick and twist on the top as we turn our neck, and then drop our head. Same to the other side, splash, flick and twist, turn the neck, drop the chin, straight up, like you're pulling a balloon. It got away from you, pull the balloon down until you turn it into a push. Lock your knees and elbows, relax your knees and elbows. All right, so we got these other exercises that are kind of like multiple exercises. So we start off with a little bit of a horse stance, and then we pivot into bow stance where one knee's bent and one's locked. We scoop, and you can lean if you want. That makes your back a little bit engaged. As you twist and reach, you're extending your shoulder, pull back the other one, and now we get to the other side. So this is like, again, my chest is kind of out and extended, but then I close and squish as I come across. Circle in front. This is actually 3 circles. We got a circle above, and then we got twirling of the teacup. That's actually like 2 circles, and then the whole thing starts again on the other side. So if your back is weak or tight, this is a really good exercise. If your back is injured, then you kind of have to go through it a little more carefully. So you get these circles going, you get the teacup twirl going, And usually that's not so bad on the back, but this part right here where you're extending over your knee and leaning sometimes puts a little too much strain on the lower back. In, out. Circle in front, circle above, circle to the sides, scoop up the teacup, and it starts all over again. So let's do a couple more of these and then we'll move on to the next one. In, out, extend your legs, extend your arms, bend your hips, bend your knees. You can, you go above your head or even behind. Twirl, scoop, and reach. One more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So this last part gets us into the next exercise. So we go from here, we pull in, we get our toes straight. So if we're here, that's horse stance. If we go to the side, we call this drop stance. So you're trying to drop your hips and then find your hips with your hands, find your knees. If you can, go all the way down to your ankles. And then we come back up, keeping the hips somewhat dropped. And then we lift up to the left and lean your shoulder with your spine to the left. And then we lean to the right as you reach for your foot. And then pivot. Other arm comes across, and here's another thing with our back. If your back is okay, lean into it, reach. If you can do that, you try to bring your elbow to your knee. If your elbow to your knee is fine, you bring the other elbow up, and then you look behind. So again, it's a progression. You do what you feel comfortable with. Reach, turn your toes straight, drop your hip. Your hips are both dropped, but your right knee bends. Reach down, feel the stretch a little bit, come back up, lean to your right, lift up. Lean to your left, reach down. Pivot across, take a deep breath, reach. So even if your back, you can't do it, you can just drop your elbow and raise your other elbow, and that'll give you a little bit of a twist. If you can go all the way down, then we're down here. So same thing again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And twist. And do one more and then we'll move on. In. Out. And as always, breathe more frequently or less, whatever feels within your means. Don't hold your breath just because you're waiting for me. Elbow to your knee, elbow up. So to stand up, I bring my back leg in. You can do maybe one of the bringing the ball down just to bring the blood and the oxygen back up. So I give you the side view. Flick. Flick your hands like you have water and you're flicking water away. So once you get in that idea, try not to hold your arms up, just let them drop. Flick, let them drop. So it's just effortless. You're throwing the water, your arms drop, so there's no tension in your neck holding your arms up. If you can do that, we're gonna crouch down a little bit. And as you come up, there's your flick. Let your thighs bend. Flick. If that's fine, let your heels come off the ground. So you're flicking water, and you're getting that ankle and calf pump. It's like another way to get circulation to move other than your heart beating. Don't get me wrong, you gotta keep the heart beating, but the calves and ankles, it helps. It's like adding a second heart. Okay, so these couple of exercises could be a little strenuous for some. So you're gonna put your rear end back, like you're sitting your rear end into a chair. You got your hands on your knees, turn your fingers in, and try to look straight ahead. So you arch your back when your chin goes up. If looking straight ahead is an option, you can do that. Try to look up. Your eyes only go so far, so stretch your neck up. And then we go down. Let your head drop. reach for the ground. You can keep your knees slightly bent, shift a little bit back and forth, and then bring your hands on your calves. And then we slowly come back up. So some of you are going to feel this a lot in your hamstrings, your neck, your shoulders. You can do the same, I keep saying, put a chair behind you around. You could do this exact exercise just sitting in a chair, and then you won't feel the strain on your hamstrings much. But you can still stretch your neck and your spine. So I'm going to lock my knees this time. I'm also going to try to pinch my toes. And then I'm going to look forward again. And then I'm going to look down. And then I'm going to look towards my kneecaps. And then I grab. And then slowly straight up, one vertebrae at a time. So if you do this enough, say you do it once a day. Once a day. You do it a couple days a week. Next thing you know, you're doing it 1 or 2 times a day, every day. You're going to find your flexibility is going to increase dramatically because of how tight everybody's hamstrings become. Your hamstrings and your back are connected. Okay, so let's move into the actual set. So we get our feet about two tiles apart. I go from my left knee bending to my right knee bending. We've done this before. This is our buckle stance. Turn your other foot, kind of like to make a number 7. Reach down and get your hands and arms like this. Now you turn your hands out like you're catching a branch, like a tree branch. It's about a ½ inch in diameter. Turn and try and break the branch. Relax your neck and shoulders. Now we go to the other side. Toes straight. Foot turns in. So I got the feet in the right spot. I sink my hips. I scoop up. Catch the branch, break the branch, gently twist your spine, make sure your shoulders are loose. Okay, toes go out. I can go a little wider. I get my heels to go out. Toes go out. Wherever you end, try to make your toes slightly out. Scoop up, feel like you're holding up the ceiling. Look forward. If you can look forward, look up. If you can look up, bring your hips forward. You can look up even further. Let your arms drop. So we go from horse stance to bow stance, empty stance, another bow stance. Those of you who want to do twisted stance, we twist. Catch the ball. Thread the needle. Relax your shoulders. Twist. Twist like a rope. To get to the other side, I scoot back, and then we do the same thing on the other side. Bow stance, empty stance, bow stance, twisted stance. Catch the ball, thread the needle. This bottom arm is like ward off. Twist. Okay, my toes go towards the corner over here. Equal weight is Bagua stance. We shift all the way to here, lock your knee, pull your toes up. That's the 7-star stretch. You're stretching your toes up towards the sky and the stars. Spin the big ball. Hand by your underarm, other hand by your face, your eye. Look at your hand as you dip your spine. And then we go to the other side. Toes in, toes out. Shift back, pull your toes up. I'm going to scoot over to the center here. Spin the big wheel, the big ball. Get to your underarm, get to your face. Dip your spine however far you can go comfortably. Toes straight again, slightly out. Scoop up. This is another version of shoot the arrow. So my left hand is open, right hand is a fist. Let your shoulders drop, let your hips drop. Scoop up for the other side. Scoop up, pull apart, pull the wrist back, feel the tension in your neck and shoulders, and then let your shoulders drop as your elbow bends. Okay, foot comes in. So we got empty stance, splash. Press the palms together, let them drop. Try to get your foot up. So it looks kind of like this. You get your foot up. If you can get the foot up, you get your toes in front of your knee. If you can do that, you get your knee in front of your navel. Then we reach the foot out. Reach the foot out. Splash, stretch, squish. Try to balance. Try to bring the leg over and up. All right. From here, we have our empty stance. Spin the ball, thread the needle, protect. Pull the wrists back, let the shoulders drop. Toes up, toes in, toes out, empty stance, catch the ball, thread the needle, protect, relax your shoulders. So that is a good portion of the set. There's about 18 exercises. There's a bunch of stretches like we did, the toe touches. There's some other ones that we're not going to do because they're a little difficult. I know you folks love difficulty and you want to do hard stuff, but I don't think you want to get on the ground and put your hand on the ground and do push-ups or anything like that. So we'll pass on those for today. Okay, so we got another time or two going through this. Breathe in. Always relax your shoulders at the end and breathe out. Sink your hips, relax your shoulders at the end. Inhale. Exhale. So right about here, I can even start getting the arms in the right spot. Inhale. Exhale. Extra credit, those of you that know how to turn and get back, drag your foot back. The extra credit one is you just kind of pivot where you're at. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So you can start out looking forward, and then when you get to the last part, turn your head and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your shoulders, sink your hips, just like we do with every other step. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So if your balance is a little rough, you just keep your foot there. But if you can, you get it up, you bring it over, squish across. This right here, reach. That's a little bit of a balance exercise right there. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Let's try it again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So the theory is if you have everything lined up the right way, with whether it's your toes or your hips, your spine, there's a certain amount of blood flow that happens. There's a certain amount of muscle engagement that makes your body get stronger, maybe a little bit more flexible depending upon what the exercise is. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You might notice one side is better, looser, or more balance, more strength, whatever. The idea is if you practice this enough times, not just today, but over the course of a month or whatever, your symmetry starts to get better. Inhale. Exhale. I heard a little foot hitting the ground, but that's okay, that's good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go for one more. Inhale. If you need to take a break, take a break. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. In. Out. 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 We finish it up. Splash, flick, and twist. Pull the ball down. Splash, deep breath. Slow the breathing down. One more. Breathe in. Down and out. Lock your knees and elbows momentarily. Feel the tension on the muscles, the skin, and then back off. So let's just do 1 or 2 times through. We got the opening with the 5 directions. Very much fundamental to all the Tai Chi forms that we practice. So you got up and down, forward and back. We have spin and reach towards your left. It's like you're doing part the horse's mane. Spin the other direction. Part the horse's mane. Come back to the center, the most stable position. Roll the ball down. So we have poking or pushing is metal. Pulling is wood. Shifting and reaching to the left is water. Complete opposite to your right would be fire. Earth, solid and stable. All right, so that's our 5 directions. From there, we can go right into shifting, turning the hip, getting us to empty stance. From empty stance, we go to a C step, C into bow stance. We have ward off, a bit of a splashing gesture, roll the ball back, find your pulse, so you're twisting your spine. On the way back, you bump your shoulder, you poke with your elbow, you press your wrists against each other. A little splash again, pull back the ball, push the ball back, twist to your left, adjust your feet, find your pulse, shoulder, elbow, wrist back to the corner, dip your elbow, pinch, split. So that's our 8 fundamentals, again, that you will find in most Tai Chi forms. Ward off 1, roll back 2, shoulder 3, elbow 4, press 5, pull 6, push 7, split 8. So 8 different gestures. So we also have the theme of heaven expanding, earth grounding, mountain, canyon, water. They're a set that flows together. Wood, metal and fire or push. Split gets us thunder. So that together are 5 directions, our 8 energies or arm movements. Gives us the whole fundamentals, the 13 Tai Chi fundamentals. And the split. Always sink your shoulders, always sink your hips, preferably at the end of each exercise. Splash, pull down. And just do a couple of these, splash and pull down. So if we're going to do the whole set, the long set, it very much goes back and forth, back and forth. So we move a few steps over to the right so as to anticipate where we're going to end up. This first part, the extension, this is all the Tai Chi walking stuff that you hear about, you know, on Facebook or in the news even a little bit. Oh, mosquito on my elbow or my arm. That's not part of the set. So we have part the horse's mane, sink your shoulders, sink your hips. shift back, shift forward, bow stance. So why do we have to do the shift back? Because you don't want to strain your knees and twist it, so you shift back so there's no or less weight on your right leg, and then you put the weight on it after you've already adjusted the angle of your foot, knee, and hip. So we get 3 of those. Part the horse's mane. Feet come together and then apart, empty stance. Twist to your left, shoulder, elbow, wrist, white crane spreads its wings. Step your foot down, bow stance. Past your face, and you'll see this come up quite often, where one arm is coming up, the other arm's coming down. That gets us our brush knee. Shift back, turn the foot, knee, and hip, shift forward. There it is again. Hand to your shoulder, other hand lifts up, brush knee. One more. Reach back, brush knee as you push in front. 3 of those. Feet come together, empty stance, past your face, strum the guitar. Try to balance by pointing your toes down, touch the toes, touch the heel. Equal weight, just for a split second here, your feet are equal. And then we go again to having more weight on one leg than the other, which is again a very common Tai Chi principle. Pulse monkey. Make sure your front knee is a little bit bent. Foot to your ankle. Foot goes back. One more. Foot to your ankle. Repulse monkey. So now we add in those 8 exercises. We have ward off, roll back, shoulder, elbow, press, pull, push. The 8th, we don't do a regular split, we just go to the other side. That's the split. It's getting us to the opposite side. Roll back, shoulder, elbow, press, pull, push. Shift left, shift right. There's our split. Okay, we get our toes straight. I'm gonna move a step or 2 over. Toes straight, hips straight. Hand to your shoulder, or your hip rather, and then shoulder height. 3 of those, 3 wave arms like clouds. We get to the 3rd one. We dip our elbow, we get our feet in the right spot. We do one more split. Sink your shoulders, sink your waist. So now we go to the corner. Toes on the corner, hand on the corner. There's that reach back. Reach for your underarm as you come across. Brush knee as you pat the high horse. Again, I'm going to recenter a little bit here. So now my hands go to the corners. My hip is going towards the corner with the foot. Reach for the foot, set the foot down. C-step in the bow stance. Scrub, create some friction, and then double punch. Relax your shoulders, sink your waist. So the other side, toes to the corner, hands to the front corners. Yep, we're good. Try to balance, try to reach, try to reach. Toes straight. Here's that drop stance that I talked about earlier. Pinch, snake creeps. If you can, go to your hip, your knee, your foot. And then you kind of come up. Brush knee, strum the guitar. Collectively, we call it rooster on one leg. You gotta do another snake creeps. Hand to your hip, knee, foot, other foot. And then up. Rooster on one leg. Catch the ball. Make the ball get small. Flip the ball. Bow stance. As you push, one arm pulls back to your temple. Relax your shoulders, sink your waist. So we got working the shuttles like you're weaving. Reach and pull back. So we get again on the corner here. Same gesture. Hand up, hand to your underarm, brush knee, needle at the bottom of the C. Scoop up, bow stance towards the left wall. Open the fan on the front. Split at the end, relax your shoulders. Catch the ball, split the ball. ride the tiger just for a moment. Block. Block again. We call it parry. Punch towards the underarm or the heart. Apparent closing. Sink your shoulders, sink your waist. Take a deep breath as your arms move horizontal and then back. Another deep breath, your arms move vertical, up and down. And that is the whole set of Yang 24. To go again, I'm going to move over. We just did the first part, the opening. So right from here, part the horse's mane. Let's go a little slower. Inhale. Exhale. Going a little slower develops a bit more patience, but also a little bit more muscle tone as you try to move slowly in and out of each of the stances with your lower body and slowly move through the stances with your upper body. So you could just set your foot down, or again, slow. It's like you're in a pool up to your neck. And maybe instead of it just being water, it's filled with syrup. And you're kind of moving slowly through the thick syrup. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Looking back, and then putting your foot where you had just looked towards. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We put the whole set of 8 together. We call it grasp the sparrow's tail. Breathe out. In. Out. Turn smooth. Catch the ball. Again, grasp the sparrow's tail. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Twist left, turn your foot. Twist right, drop your elbow. And breathe in. And breathe out. Face forward. So if you can get past just moving your arm, try to make your shoulders and your navel turn. So your toes, knees, and hips stay straight, but the spine actually twists as you get the navel to turn. 3 times. Breathe in. And breathe out. We finish it with another split. And breathe in. And breathe out. Pat the high horse. Breathe in. And breathe out. Heel kick. And breathe in. And breathe out. Double punch. In. Out. Heel kick on the left. In. Out. Snake creeps. And breathe out. Rooster on one leg. And breathe out. Snake creeps, right side. And breathe out. Rooster on one leg. And breathe out. Work the shuttles. And breathe out. Work the shuttles on the left. And breathe out. Needle at the bottom of the C. One of the few exercises where your upper body extends past your knees. Open the fan. And breathe out. Block. Parry. hunch as you breathe out. Apparent closing. And breathe out. Open. And breathe in. Out. In. Out. So, any questions, comments? Everybody doing good? Yes.
We're doing like the C-step. How far should our foot be on the ground?
For which step?
The C-step. We're doing all the C-step.
C-step. You don't want to go so close that you don't get any extension. You don't want to go so far that you're going to like lose your balance. So I would say probably a good distance in front would be about maybe 2 of the squares.
But how far off the ground should our foot
About an inch or so. So again, you can kind of exaggerate it, and you're all the way up here and then putting it down. You might actually develop a little more balance in doing that. That's a little awkward. So it should be about an inch. And set it down, then we do our shift. About an inch. You don't have to get a ruler out or anything. Just, try to hover. The closer you get to the ground, that's more control. So, anything else? All good? So again, we got time to do it a couple more times. If you need to slow down or take a break, adjust appropriately. So we're still trying to do it slower. The steps are slower. The arm gestures are slower. The breathing is slower. Breathe in. And breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. The glancing backward, again, helps with balance. You change your focal point occasionally. It makes you have to adjust your balance more so. Inhale. Exhale. Just like here, you look and try to step without looking next. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Just make sure that front knee has a little bend to it. And breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. Shoulders relaxed. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Twist left. Adjust your feet. Twist right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wave arms like clouds. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Split or single whip. Breathe out. Pat the high horse. Breathe in. Breathe out. Heel kick. In. Out. In. Out. Heel kick left. In. Out. Snake creeps. Out. Rooster on one leg. Out. In. Out. Rooster on one leg. Out. Work the shuttles. Breathe out. Work the shuttles left. Breathe out. Needle at the bottom of the sea. Breathe out. Open the fan. Breathe out. Block. Parry. Punch and breathe out. Parent closing. And breathe out. Open. Close. Open. Close. Now we're getting on a roll here with looping it. Some of you are going to be feeling a little bit more. We'll do it one more time. I'll do it one more time. You decide if you want to also. In. Out. 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 So I'm going to adjust now. In. Out. 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 Finish it with the splash, the twist, pulling down. Sometimes it's called pulling down the heavens. I'll just say pulling down the balloon. Inhale. Exhale, lock your knees and elbows momentarily. Bend your knees and elbows.